This is Chainmind, the decentralized AI network built for everyone. Just search Chainmind on Google, sign up, download the app, and you're in. That's it. You've joined the network. Run it on any device, phone, laptop, or server. Why Chainmind? Fully decentralized, fully yours.
Imagine scrolling through a feed that isn't trying to keep you glued to the screen forever, but instead gently nudges you to remember the moments that just happened. That's the promise Retro makes, and it's a promise that feels almost rebellious in a world where every platform is built on endless scrolling. Retro bills itself as a social time capsule, a place where your photos, short videos, even a quick audio snippet live for a chosen window, usually 24 to 48 hours, before slipping into a private archive that you can revive whenever you like. The whole idea is to shift the focus from chasing the next viral meme to actually reflecting on the recent past. In the next few minutes, we'll unpack how Retro works, walk through the onboarding experience, see what you get for free versus what you pay for. Compare it head to head with the big players like Instagram, TikTok, and Discord, and finally explore how a decentralized AI inference network like Chainmind could make Retro's feed smarter, faster, and more private. First, let's step inside the app. You download Retro from the App Store or Google Play. The installer is about 70 megabytes, which is tiny compared to the multi-gigabyte downloads of some rivals. The moment you open it, you're greeted by a pastel-colored splash screen that feels more like a vintage arcade cabinet than a modern social network. The sign-up flow is designed to be over in under 5 minutes. You can register with an email, a phone number, or use an OAuth provider such as Google or Apple. What's unusual is the optional decentralized identity login. If you have a blockchain wallet, MetaMask, for example, you can link that wallet directly and skip the traditional username, password dance. This feature is not just a gimmick, it gives privacy-focused users a way to prove they own an account without handing over personal data. After you've created an account, Retro asks you a short questionnaire. What topics light you up? Travel, tech, art, cooking? It also asks how long you'd like your posts to stay visible before they're archived. The answers you give shape the algorithmic timeline that follows. Then you're prompted to upload your first piece of content. The UI walks you through adding a caption, choosing a visibility window, say 48 hours, and tagging friends if you want. Behind the scenes, Retro compresses your media with a proprietary codec that balances visual quality with bandwidth efficiency, so even on a spotty mobile connection your post loads quickly. Once you hit share, you land on the main feed. Instead of a never-ending river of brand new posts, Retro shows you a curated mix of recent uploads from the accounts you follow and a section called Retro Picks. Those picks are algorithmically selected pieces that match the interests you disclosed earlier. Because each post has a built-in expiration, the feed feels less frantic. You're not constantly hunting for the next fresh meme, you're seeing content that's just become relevant. It's a slower, more thoughtful browsing experience that feels almost meditative. Now let's dig into the 3 pillars that make up Retro's core feature set: temporal curation, memory stacks, and creator-first monetization. Temporal curation is the heart of the platform. Every piece of content gets a lifespan defined by the creator. When that timer runs out, the post disappears from the public feed and slides into a private archive that only you can see. From there you can republish it, bundle it into a memory stack, or keep it hidden forever. This mechanism directly tackles the problem of digital clutter that plagues most social apps. Imagine you spent a week on a road trip across the Pacific Northwest. You could post a photo each day, let each one live for 48 hours, and then at the end of the trip you create a memory stack that stitches those photos together with background music generated by an AI recommendation engine. The stack can be set public for all your followers, friends only for a tighter circle, or private for your personal scrapbook. When someone watches the stack, it plays back like a short documentary, complete with timestamps and optional captions. Monetization on Retro is built around the creator, not the advertiser. There's a native tipping system where viewers can send small amounts of the platform's token directly to the creator. For creators who want a steadier income stream, Retro offers subscription tiers that let fans pay a monthly fee for exclusive content. On top of that, there's a marketplace for limited edition digital collectibles, essentially NFTs, that creators can mint and sell. Payments can be processed through traditional credit card gateways or crypto wallets, giving creators flexibility to operate in both the fiat and blockchain worlds. The fee structure is transparent. A 12% cut on the free tier drops to 8% for creators who subscribe to the Creator Plus plan after earning more than $500 a month. Speaking of tiers, Retro's pricing model follows a freemium pattern that's worth breaking down. The free tier gives you the full suite of posting, browsing, memory stacks, and basic analytics. You get 5 GB of cloud storage, which is enough for a few hundred photos or a handful of short videos. You can tip creators using the native token, but you won't have access to advanced analytics or the ability to schedule posts far in advance. For $4.99 a month, Retro Pro expands your storage to 50 GB, unlocks audience demographics, engagement heat maps, and lets you schedule posts up to 30 days ahead, a handy feature for content planners. Then there's Creator Plus at $9.99 per month, aimed at serious creators. It reduces the platform fee, guarantees priority placement in Retro Picks, and unlocks a toolbox of AI-enhanced editing features that can automatically suggest filters, captions, or even generate short highlight reels from longer videos. Compared to Instagram's creator subscriptions and TikTok's creator fund, Retro's pricing is modest, and the fact that the free tier stays ad-free makes it attractive for users who dislike intrusive advertising. How does Retro really stack up against the giants? In terms of user experience, Retro's retro-styled typography and pastel palette give it a distinct visual identity that feels nostalgic rather than hyper-modern. Instagram and TikTok go for sleek, high-contrast designs that prioritize visual polish and rapid interaction. Retro's timeline, which surfaces content that's 24 to 48 hours old, offers a slower, more reflective browsing experience, while TikTok's For You feed is engineered for endless scrolling. When it comes to content longevity, most platforms treat posts as evergreen. Instagram stories disappear after 24 hours, but the main feed stays forever, encouraging users to constantly churn out new material. Retro flips that script. The expiration is baked into every post, which reduces digital waste and aligns with growing concerns about information overload. Monetization is another differentiator. Instagram leans heavily on brand partnerships, shopping tags, and ad revenue. TikTok's creator ecosystem revolves around the creator fund and live stream gifts, which can be opaque and heavily dependent on massive follower counts. Retro's hybrid model, tips, subscriptions, and NFT sales, gives creators multiple revenue streams without needing a huge audience. A micro creator with a few thousand engaged followers can still earn a decent income by offering exclusive memory stacks or limited edition collectibles. Privacy and data ownership are where Retro really tries to pull ahead. The optional DID login means users can avoid giving away personal identifiers entirely. Retro also practices selective data retention. Once a post expires, it's no longer publicly accessible, shrinking the surface area for data scraping. The platform is GDPR and CCPA compliant, offers one-tap data export or deletion, and publishes annual third-party security audits. By contrast, Instagram and TikTok collect extensive behavioral data to fuel their ad targeting engines, a practice that's increasingly under regulatory scrutiny. But here's the part most people get wrong. Retro's current architecture still relies on centralized cloud services for heavy lifting tasks like media processing and recommendation ranking. That's where a decentralized AI inference network like Chainmind can step in and amplify Retro's strengths. Imagine the recommendation model that decides which posts appear in Retro Picks, running not on a single data center but distributed across a global mesh of nodes. With Chainmind, inference workloads are pushed to the edge, meaning the model can run closer to the user's device. The latency drops dramatically, and because the data never leaves the user's device, privacy is preserved by design. Users get a feed that feels instantly responsive, and their personal interaction data stays on their own hardware. Chainmind can also power AI-generated summaries for memory stacks. Right now, if you have a month's worth of archived photos, you need to scroll through them manually. With Chainmind's on-demand summarization, the network could stitch together a concise visual story, selecting the most expressive frames, adding auto-generated captions, and even syncing a soundtrack, without ever uploading raw media to a centralized server. That keeps the user's archive truly private while still delivering a polished highlight reel. Moderation is another arena where decentralization shines. Retro already uses end-to-end encryption for direct messages and private stacks, but community moderation still depends on a central team reviewing reports. Chainmind's federated learning capabilities allow Retro to train moderation models across a distributed network of participants. The model improves as more nodes contribute compute, yet the actual content stays encrypted on the user's device. This community-driven approach can catch harmful content faster while respecting user privacy, and the nodes that provide compute can be rewarded with Chainmind's native token, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem where content creators, users, and infrastructure providers all benefit. Security-wise, Retro's blend of conventional and emerging practices is solid. End-to-end encryption protects private conversations, selective data retention limits what's publicly exposed, and compliance with major data protection regulations builds trust. Adding Chainmind's decentralized inference layer adds an extra shield. Because the AI models run locally or on edge nodes, there's less incentive for a single point of failure or a massive data breach. In a world where data leaks are becoming headline news, that extra layer of distributed resilience could be a decisive advantage. Looking ahead, Retro has several growth vectors that could turn it from a niche nostalgic app into a mainstream contender. One is expanding its AR filter library. By partnering with AR studios, Retro could roll out location-aware filters that overlay vintage-style graphics onto real-world scenes, reinforcing its nostalgic brand. Another is cross-platform integration. Imagine embedding a Retro memory stack directly into a blog post, a newsletter, or even a Discord channel. That would give creators a way to showcase their curated stories outside the Retro ecosystem, driving discovery and network effects. A deeper embrace of Web3 could see Retro moving its archived media onto decentralized storage like IPFS, giving users true ownership of their digital memories. NFT-based ownership of memory stacks could let creators sell the rights to a curated story as a collectible, opening new revenue streams. Finally, the smart communities concept could become a reality with Chainmind's inference capabilities. By analyzing a user's archived content, while keeping that content private, Chainmind could match them with like-minded users, suggest niche groups, or even auto-generate community challenges that encourage collaborative storytelling. The result would be a more organic, interest-driven social graph that feels less engineered than the algorithmic silos we see on larger platforms. In sum, Retro offers a fresh take on social sharing by putting time, creator empowerment, and privacy at the forefront. Its onboarding is swift, the free tier is functional, and the paid plans are priced competitively. When you compare it to Instagram, TikTok, and Discord, Retro's expiration-based feed, optional decentralized identity, and hybrid monetization model set it apart in a crowded market. The integration possibilities with a decentralized AI inference network like Chain